ladies and gentlemen, it gives me great pleasure to introduce to you our singing star, Miss Kitty Reed.
Hello world, this is Miss Kitty Reed, and today on Amish Book Club we will be discussing Rebecca by Mary Christner Borntrager. It was published in 1989 by Herald Press. It is the second book in the Ellie's People series, and if you were with Amish Book Club when I reviewed Ellie, keep in mind that Rebecca is Ellie's daughter. I have my assistant, also named Rebecca, a mini American Girl doll. In the 1950s, 21-year-old Rebecca-Amish works as a maid for a large Amish family. One day, a young girl in the family is hurt, and instead of calling a doctor, the mother calls for a woman who performs a kind of folk healing called powwowing, which involves Bible verses and other unorthodox methods. While at home, she wonders about this practice and asks her Mennonite neighbor and best friend, Susan Miller, about it. Susan doesn't know about powwowing, but she does know that her brother James wants to take Rebecca on a date to the Mennonite Bible study. Even though she knows it will create controversy, Becky finds herself saying yes. The date with James is nice, but Becky's parents don't approve of dating those from other churches. Sam Lapp, a son of the family she has been working for, has been giving Becky trouble because he likes her too. During her employer's harvest, baby Rosie dies after being stung by bees. Soon after, the family loses the barn in a fire caused by lightning. The community rallies together for a barn raising. Sam publicly embarrasses James several times at the barn raising, but he remains unfazed. When he asks Becky out again, in front of Sam, she says yes. James takes Becky to a Mennonite box social in which girls make a picnic lunch and decorate a box for the food. The boys must then bid on the boxes, although they do not know who made which box. They must eat with whoever's box they bought. Ellie and David, Rebecca's parents, are quite upset that she seems to be pulling away from the Amish faith to pursue James. Becky doesn't understand why the Amish forbid certain things that they do not consider sinful for others. She likes being with people who study the Bible, and James is very spiritual and honorable. Becky is fired from her maid job for going out with James, and the deacon comes to talk to her. He says she must stop riding in a car to go out with James, or she will have to confess in front of the church. While Rebecca is driving the buggy, a group of boys in a car, including Sam, makes Becky's horse spook. She ends up in the hospital with 2 broken legs and has a long recovery. Ellie and David invite the Amish young people to a taffy pull and singing at their house for Becky. She admits to herself that she has feelings for James. Later, he sends her a new diary. At a new maid job, Becky sees powwowing again and is even more confused. James takes her out again. James and Susan's caring for Becky after her accident has left her parents softened toward her dating James. James says he has always felt that God has a special calling for him and that it might be among the Amish. He says he will change his church. Becky has to think this over, but consents, and James begins the trying process of becoming Amish. He is eventually baptized. Becky gets a job working for an English family. Sam sends James a mean letter posing as Becky, but she sets things right. Sam and some Mennonite boys rob a gas station and later escape from jail, bringing shame to their churches. The 2 English children Becky works for stay at her house for a weekend and experience life on an Amish farm. James and Becky are preparing to marry, and Ellie and David invite them to take over the farm so that they can move to a smaller house on the property and begin their semi-retirement. James and Becky are excited, but he takes her aside to tell her something important. James had a dream that he should become a traveling evangelist. He cannot do this and remain Amish, and so he says he must return to his church. Becky says she will go with him. Ellie and David still want the couple to take over the farm, even after this revelation that they will become Mennonites. Becky is excommunicated from the Amish church, and some Amish are rude to her, but she finds happiness in her new church community. Susan announces her engagement, and Becky and James are soon married. James becomes assistant pastor of their church, and the family grows to include 3 children. Sam Lapp apologizes to Becky one day for the harm he caused and has turned his life around. James is part of a mission to take trucks of grain to Central America, and when he returns, tells Becky that he is called to be a missionary there. Rebecca, James, and their children leave to become full-time missionaries in Central America. The end. What an intriguing book! We have here a wonderful exploration of Amish and Mennonite life. To those on the outside, it may seem hard to differentiate Amish and Mennonite people, especially as there are so many groups of each faith with varying degrees of similarity to those of the other faith. In Rebecca, we see that the sometimes blurry line between Amish and Mennonite can be sharp when crossed. Our author knows this better than anyone, as she grew up Amish and became Mennonite later on. We get to see Rebecca grapple with the difficult choices of love and theology, how she wants to live, and what that means for those she loves. Both Rebecca and James explore the boundaries of their faiths and how far they'll go for each other and God. It makes for a very compelling story. We also get a really interesting exploration of powwowing, which is an Amish folk healing practice. I can always count on Mary Christner Borntrager to show the obscure parts of Amish life because she lived it. I give this book a 7 out of 7. The second part in the Ellie's People series is just as good as the first, maybe even better. I would recommend this to every reader, especially those interested in the differences between Amish and Mennonite life. It's an engaging book that's easy to read. Our next book will be Looking for a Miracle by Wanda Brunstetter. Please check with your local library to see if they have it on the shelves. If not, I am sure they would be happy to get it for you through interlibrary loan. Rebecca would like to remind all of you out there on the information superhighway to share your opinions in the comments and look at the video description for important links. This has been Amish Book Club with Miss Kitty Reed. This is Miss Kitty Reed and Rebecca signing off. See you later on Amish Book Club.
Living in the rhythm